Did you know that many IELTS test takers struggle with the IELTS writing category? As a matter of fact, in my experience, a lot of students have said that the IELTS writing is one of the toughest of the categories. Did you know that a lot of students find the IELTS writing to be the toughest? Is this the same for you? Have you had that same experience? But many of my students have confided that they struggle with the IELTS writing. If this is the same for you, please leave a comment below so that I know how many people that were working together. I'm happy to tell you that with the right tips and strategies, the IELTS writing not only becomes a walkover, but band 8 plus is possible. So because IELTS tests your task achievement, your cohesion and coherence, your lexical structure, and of course your grammar, these are of course the 4 things that give you your score on the writing. I'm going to make a video for that. If you want to see a video on that, you can leave a comment below. But I'm going to give you the some of the 3 things that might contribute to you losing scores on the IELTS writing. And the first one is poor or bad grammar. IELTS wants to mark a totally error-free or as error-free as possible of an essay or writing or whatever writing you're doing. So poor or bad grammar could be hindering that. The second thing is poor structuring. Now, you need to learn the correct structuring for your writing, and because you're not doing the structuring properly, you're losing scores. And of course, the final thing that is making you lose scores is weak arguments. So you're not making your arguments clear, they're not logical, they're not easy to follow. So some of these arguments make you lose your scores. So number 1, you need to understand the question. Now remember I told you that IELTS scores you on task achievement. Of course, task achievement is the fact that you've understood and that you can answer this question sufficiently, successfully, right? So, and that you can discuss it as much as is required, right? So you need to first understand the question to be able to do this. Now, I find that a lot of test takers, one of the reasons why their score is low is because to a very large extent they have not sat on the question. That's an idiomatic expression. They have not let the question sink in. I tell my students, you need to let the question sink in. You need to read it over and over again. Don't just rush into writing. Of course, writing is timed, we know this. But you need to make sure that you understand the question. Imagine that you've spent 30 minutes writing an essay only to realize that you have mistaken the question and that you've not gotten it right. You've just wasted that 30 minutes. Unlike someone who used the first 3 to 5 minutes to digest the question, then you have a very good grasp of what it is that IELTS wants you to write. And of course, you are in a better position to do a very good essay. Now, understanding the question also means that you try to muse on the points, right? I tell my students that before you actually start writing, understand, then try to bring out your points. Don't write and then start thinking, oh, what's the next point? Oh, what's the next point? Otherwise, you end up canceling the first point and just wasting your time. So think your essay or your letter through before you start writing. So write down point number 1 is going to be this, point number 2 is going to be this, and then you begin to write it. Please do this first. Understand the question and then think the essay through by bringing out your points and the examples that you want to use in your writing. That's the first thing you need to do to improve. Now, the second thing you need to do is to learn how to write a proper IELTS writing structure. Of course, we're going to have in-depth videos to show you how to do this. Now, typically, if you're writing an essay, you need to have the introduction, then you have the introduction paragraph, then you have the 2 body paragraphs, which is what I typically see. There are some exceptions where you might need 3 body paragraphs, but typically you have 2 body paragraphs, and then the conclusion. So typically you also have 4 paragraphs, right? On except on some exceptions where you can have 5 paragraphs, and maybe my subsequent videos will see some of those exceptions. Now, for the tax 1, for general, you're going to be writing a letter. So what you want to do is to have the introduction paragraph and the question 1. Sometimes I tend to blend the introduction and the answer to question 1, then question 2 in a separate paragraph, then question 3 in a separate paragraph, and then your 1 sentence closure, and then of course your your closing. That's your yours true faithfully, yours sincerely, and things like that. Now, if you're writing the academic, you have the introduction, the overview, analysis 1, analysis 2. Sometimes I tell my students to blend their introduction with the overview. That's still fine. So you have to know the structure in-depthly. And when I say in-depthly, I mean know what constitutes your introduction, what constitutes your body paragraph, what constitutes your conclusion. So when you learn the structuring, it will help you to structure better. Of course, we're going to have videos on each of the structuring coming up soon. Now, the third thing you need to learn for your writing to be better is to improve on your vocabulary. It looks like it's simple, but simple vocabulary doesn't just cut it when you're writing. You need formal vocabulary, and you need vocabulary that is contextual. I tell my students that there's a difference between writing what they call big vocabulary and what is called contextual vocabulary. Now, contextual vocabulary helps you to score really high in your writing. Now, what do I mean by contextual vocabulary? I mean, when you write with words that are significant to the topic. All right, for example, if we are maybe the topic is on the environment. Now, you want to use contextual vocabulary like biodegradable, you want to use fossil fuel, you want to use erosion, you want to use words like greenhouse, you want to use pollution, gas emissions, words like that has things to do with the environment. Okay, but if you're talking about health, for example, maybe your essay is on health, then you don't just write any kind of words, right? You use words that are associated with health. For example, medicine, for example, pandemic, administer, examine, oncologist, pediatrician, prescribed. So those words help to improve your writing. So instead of just saying the doctor told me to take drugs, the doctor prescribed some medicine. All right, so write words that will elevate your writing based on the topic. So what you want to do is try to read up on different topics that try to improve your vocabulary on different topics that are very synonymous with IELTS, such as environment. Environment is a very synonymous topic. IELTS writing, a lot of times we get environment. We have education as well, so you want to learn words under education. Health is another significant word. Technology is one. So we have technology, health, education, and environment. Those are very popular topics on IELTS writing. So you might want to improve your vocabulary. Learn 6 words that will help you in your writing just on that vocabulary. So these are the 3 things. If you can do these 3 things in your writing today, you would move yourself up from a band 5 to a 6, 7, and a band 8. These are the things that you need to learn. Found this helpful? All you need to do is like this video, share it with your friends, share with as many people as you know that are going to be taking the IELTS this year, next year. Please share, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing helps me to make more videos to help you out. So if you found this useful, please subscribe and be part of our community. Remember that we share videos every Friday. I drop videos every Friday to help you to ace your IELTS. I also teach the IELTS to people online via Google Meet. So if you're interested, please leave a comment below, or send me a WhatsApp on my WhatsApp number, and I will be with you to help you ace the IELTS. All right, till next video. See you all, test takers. Have a wonderful